never
folks.
know.
You never know, with your host, David Olney, or as I'm known at the Starbucks, Butch. I went and got a cup of coffee, and you make your order, and they say, "Well, what's your name?" And then something came over me. I said, "Butch." Look at me. Could I be a Butch? No. Okay, so you never know with your host, Dave Olney. Coming up, goodbye 2014. January 16th through the 18th, at Santa Rosa Beach, the 30A Songwriter Festival in Florida, which is fun. I mean, it's getting big, and there's a lot of good people that'll be down there. So Mary Gaucher, I think she's going to be down, and Jeff Black. There's a bunch of people. Okay, then speaking of Mary Gaucher, January 22nd, Songwriter Retreat with Mary Gaucher in Nashville. And I think if you're interested in that sort of thing, might check it out on her website, Mary Gaucher, Gauthier, and she's a piece of work and extremely cool. Okay, Friday, January 23rd in Cary, North Carolina, right near Raleigh. Six String presents at Cary Theater. I'll be there. Yeah, and I'll be there with Malcolm Holcomb. I'll be glad to see him. Okay, so there you go. That's what's coming up. Played at the 5 Spot last Saturday, and that was fun. And, okay, onward, upward. Here we go. Oh, yeah. Okay. Sonnets. I wrote these sonnets. This is sonnet number 2. Okay. In preparation for a bitter end, he puts on his pessimistic face and scowls at all the fools who would pretend they'll wind up somehow in a better place. The years we live are all the years we get. Why can't you get that notion through your head? Heaven is a sucker's losing bet. The truth is when you're dead, you're dead. With reasoning so clear, he makes it plain that God is mere delusion for the weak, the foolish, the misguided, the insane. And there is no rebuttal I can speak. He dissects the frog with skillful care to prove that the frog isn't there. Okay, that's that. The idea of dissecting a frog to prove that it isn't there. This is English Darwinist. What do you call those guys? Evolution. A really smart guy, and evolution is a fact, and this guy's really into it. He's also, proudly atheist, and he wrote this book called The God Delusion, which is a very interesting book, and I read it. It just seemed like, as cogent as his arguments could be, he'd written this whole book about how something isn't there, and it seemed to me that was proving that it was there. So there's that. Okay, so I've been doing songs from going way back, going CD by CD, and did the Contender album, did a couple of songs from that, which is not to say they're the only 2 songs that are any good on it. I don't mean that, but time is going by. We can't linger on things. So we're moving on up to Eye of the Storm, and that's what it looks like. And this is such a great photo. Melody Gimple took that picture. And, okay, Eye of the Storm is the name of that album. I'll do a song from it. I'll do a couple, next week I'll do one too. if I was Saturday night and you were Sunday morning, for a fleeting moment we could touch at midnight. And in that moment, could you really know me? But I am looking across the river, longing to be near. The water is too wide, I cannot reach you. I'm as close as I can ever hope to be. If I was winter dying and you the virgin spring, gladly to your warmth I would surrender, to melt the snows and set the rivers free. But I am standing on the mountain, longing to be near. Heaven is too high, I cannot reach you. I'm as close as I can ever hope to be. And if you were the water that he turned into wine, and you could satisfy a drunkard's thirst, well, I'd surely drink until I could not see. But I am lost in the devil's storm, longing to be near. The wind it blows too hard, I cannot reach you. I'm as close as I can ever hope to be. And if I was Saturday night and you were Sunday morning, for a fleeting moment we could touch at midnight. And in that moment, could you really know me? All right, there's Saturday night and Sunday morning, and that song I was trying to write a song like Townes Van Zandt, basically. And I think specifically ride the blue wind high and free, she'll lead you down through misery. That, the way the chords change, they're very simple chords, but they change in sort of unexpected places to me. And I try to get that, and the sort of the main verse to me is the last one of if you were the water that he turned into wine. And that was, I just had this idea that I was kind of struggling with these, God, what the hell does that mean, and all that kind of stuff going on. And if it meant anything, it had to relate on day-to-day stuff. It just couldn't be, now I'm going to church, now I think about this, and pews and altars and all that. It had to be just day-to-day things like, being in love and drinking. That had to relate in some way to those things, or forget it. I don't want to even talk about it. Okay, so what else? A few years later, I played over and started playing for the first time in Holland, and oh God, I'm going to forget. Jan Donkers had a radio show. I think I got that right. Hope I got his name right. And I played that on his radio show, and he ended up putting it out on with a bunch of other songs, and that kind of raised my stock a bit in Holland. And it made me think, well, somebody else likes what I do, which is always a good feeling. And then, Steve Earle, there's a YouTube video of him doing this song. I guess it's some live gig. And so that was nice, and I appreciate that. It's just a weird kind of song, isn't it? But it's pretty. And now the guitar part, that was the other thing. The guitar playing, no guitar part that I play is going to be really very difficult, but there has to be something in there that separates it from the lyrics. And I got that idea kind of came through from Ramblin' Jack Elliott, the way he did stuff. He was thought of as a great guitar player, which he wasn't and isn't. But he's an interesting guitar player, and he always gets a guitar part that fits in with the song. And you can play it by itself, and it's just interesting notes. So that was the thing I was kind of going for. Okay, so there you go. Sonnets, songs, stilted patter. It's the total entertainment package, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, Happy New Year. You never know. You never know. You never know